It started with nothing, just a quiet evening, a dim living room, and the low flicker of a black and white movie playing in the background. I never meant for anything to happen, I never even let myself imagine it, but when his hand brushed against mine, something inside me cracked, and once it did, nothing could ever be the same again. My name is Vada. I'm 47, I've been married to the same man, Raul, for over 2 decades. We have 2 kids, a mortgage, and a lifetime of routines. We don't argue anymore. We don't laugh either. We simply function like a machine that forgot it was once built for joy. He comes home, I cook, we clean, we sleep, rinse, and repeat. But feeling seen, touched, desired, that part of me had been dormant for years until Tyler. Tyler is 31. He's my best friend's son. He grew up coming over for sleepovers, barbecues, and pool parties. He used to call me Miss Veda. I still remember his high school graduation. He hugged me longer than expected, and I thought nothing of it at the time. But somewhere between college and now, he changed. Taller, stronger, quieter. There was a softness to him that never fully went away, but his presence started to feel different. He noticed things like when I wore a new sweater, or if I looked tired. Raul hadn't noticed in years. That night, it was just us. Raul had taken his muscle relaxers early and was asleep upstairs. Tyler had stayed after dinner to finish a movie. He liked the old classics, said they reminded him of simpler times. I sat beside him on the couch just like 100 other times before, but this time felt different. The air was still thick. His knee bumped mine gently. I didn't move away. The shadows from the TV danced across the room. I barely registered what we were watching. My focus was locked on the weight of his thigh, pressing slightly into mine. Then it happened. His hand slipped. At first, it was subtle, just a graze. His fingers brushed against my leg. My entire body tensed. I didn't look at him, didn't speak. I just sat there frozen in the quiet. He didn't move his hand away, and I didn't either. It wasn't bold, it wasn't rushed. His pinky curled ever so slightly now, resting gently against my thigh. A pause. His palm turned upward, open, waiting. My hands clenched the blanket in my lap. I stared at the screen though the film had become background noise. Then came his voice. Low, barely audible. You okay? He whispered. I nodded. That's all it took. His hand settled more firmly on my leg. Not possessive, not demanding, just steady. My skin burned beneath his touch. My lips parted, but no words came out. Then, his thumb moved. One slow stroke over the curve of my thigh. My breath hitched. My thighs pressed together instinctively. Still, I didn't stop him. His hand inched higher. I shifted slightly and my knees parted just a little. I hated how easy it felt. I had told myself for so long that I didn't need intimacy anymore, that Raul and I had simply matured into silence. But in that moment, Tyler reminded me that silence isn't peace, it's emptiness. And I was starving. We didn't kiss right away. We didn't even look at each other. He watched the movie. I watched him. His fingers brushed beneath the hem of my shorts. Slow, warm, deliberate. I couldn't breathe. He leaned in, not to kiss me, but to whisper, I'll stop if you want. I didn't answer. I couldn't because I didn't want him to stop. He touched me like I was worth missing, like he'd been waiting for the right moment, and this was it. When I finally turned to look at him, I kissed him. Soft, trembling, real. His lips on mine felt like coming up for air after being underwater for too long. I didn't recognize myself. I wasn't a wife in that moment, or a mother. I was just a woman who wanted to be wanted. We collapsed into each other on the couch, the TV still flickering unnoticed. He was careful, almost reverent. My shirt rode up under my ribs. His hands were warm and real against my skin. I kept thinking, I should stop. I should end this. But every time I tried to speak, he touched me in a way that erased reason. Not rough, not rushed, just knowing. A sound down the hall made us freeze. A creak, a pipe, maybe a floorboard. He pulled back slightly, forehead pressed to mine. We're not supposed to be doing this, he whispered. I know, but then I kissed him again because it was already too late. When the credits rolled, we were tangled in silence. I looked at him, shirt wrinkled, lips swollen, eyes searching mine. What happens now? I asked. He didn't answer. The next morning, I stood in the kitchen, coffee untouched. I heard the bathroom door creak. He passed by without a word, just filled his glass with water. I didn't look up, but I felt everything in the air between us. The kind of tension that hums beneath politeness. Later that week, we bumped into each other in the laundry room. Our hands touched over the basket. We both froze. "I can't stop thinking about it," he said. "Me neither," I replied. But we both knew we couldn't let it happen again. Only that night hadn't satisfied the hunger. It had awakened it. I found myself avoiding the living room at night, locking the bedroom door, not to keep him out, but to keep myself in. I still felt his breath on my neck, his hand on my thigh, the look in his eyes that told me I wasn't invisible. A few days later, we sat outside on the porch steps. Sunset painted the sky in soft orange. He sat at the other end, not close, but not far. "You're quiet lately," he said. "I've been thinking." "Me too." I looked at him finally. "I should have never let it happen. But you did. And I didn't stop you." We sat in that silence, the kind that wraps around your chest and doesn't let go. I didn't say goodbye when he stood and walked off into the dusk. I just watched until he disappeared into the shadows. Inside, Raoul was washing dishes. I stood in the doorway, wine glass in hand, and lied with my silence when he asked, "You okay?" I nodded. But I wasn't, because the worst part wasn't that it happened. The worst part is, I wanted it to happen.